Hello, and welcome back to Baki Taki Season 6, Episode 11, Buddy. But I like to think of this by another title. This is, drumroll, Episode 100 of Baki Taki. Can you believe it? My guest, Mike?
I can believe it. You have a dedication to Baki that I think few others have.
Thank you. I guess that's true. I don't know too many people who've got close to 100 episodes. So to kick that off, Mike, I want you to list your 100 favorite things about Baki.
Ooh, 100. I mean, I could just list all the muscles he has, and I don't even know if I'd hit 100.
That's a great question.
Right?
Yeah. How many muscles do you think a person has? Well, that's a job for Editor Steve. Editor Steve, the answer is something like 600, which is whatever. What's interesting is they all say like around 600 or probably. Like, apparently this isn't something that's hammered down yet. I hope one day science gets to the point where we've named all of the muscles, but anyway. Yeah, it's sort of snuck up on me, but we've hit this is the 100th episode. It's not quite the 100th episode of Baki. I think that this season will be around 90 or something, but I've done a few like April Fool's episodes and stuff like that have bumped the count up a bit. But yeah.
Congratulations, still a milestone.
Thank you. I feel like this is like 60 hours of Baki content at this point. Just a boatload of Baki.
I mean, would you have it any other way though?
I want to hit 200 episodes now. No, this is pretty good. All right. Well, Mike, I've got two questions for all of my guests this season. First off, what have you been up to during the Baki Taki hiatus? It's been about 2 years since you would have been last on the show, at least.
Oh, what have I been up to? I mean, personally, I moved and got a house. That was exciting. But in terms of what I've been watching and other stuff, like I think the only other anime I watched in the meantime was like Terminator Zero, which is also a Netflix anime. I tried to watch. I still want to watch it. I think there's a season of Trigun that came out in like the 2020s that I didn't know existed.
You know what's funny?
That I discovered like 2 months ago.
It's funny. I've watched that Trigun Stampede.
Yeah,
came out a few years ago. It's good.
Yeah, so I'm a big fan, and I used to have it's lost somewhere in the tests of time, like a Trigun Special Edition DVD set. So I would have loved to have known that came out and watched it, but I just wasn't aware.
That's so funny. I remember you mentioning Trigun a while ago, and then I forgot, and I was like, was it Mike who talked about Trigun? Because as I was watching it, I was like, somebody told me this about this show.
Might have been me.
Yeah, I think it was. But yeah, no, Trigun's good. And they had Trigun Stampede a few years ago, and then this year they had the second season. I think it was called like Trigun Stargaze or something, but I haven't watched that.
Well, now I've got more to catch up on.
Yeah. I'm actually the guy who did Trigun did another series, Blood Blockade Battleground. I found that one a lot of fun. But anyway, this is a Baki podcast. We'll get back to Baki. Question number 2 for you. Coming into this episode, what did you know about Baki?
I mean, I don't think I'd watched any Baki since you did the finale episode. Was that 2 years ago? Was that the one?
Yeah, around 2 years ago. A little bit over that.
And I was thinking whether I should watch or try and I listened to some of the pods since then, although not like all of them and not in order necessarily. But I decided, I was like, no context Baki is also kind of fun, because I know like the first season of Baki you did, that's how it was. Yeah. And I had no context there, and I figured I'd do it again. I don't know if that was a good choice for this particular episode, because there seems like it kind of picks right off right after something else happened, and there's a lot of questions I have, but
they really don't. Yeah, they don't go back to where like the scene starts pretty abruptly. Let's jump into that. What did you think had happened when the episode started?
He was in like a dojo, I guess, and I don't know what had happened, but there were some guys there, and they seemed nervous. and about whatever Musashi was doing. I assume that he had just defeated someone or did something that made them uncomfortable, and then was it Shibukawa comes in, and everyone relaxes for a second. I'm like, okay. And he introduces himself as like a sensei, and you're like, oh, this is some teacher. And I was like, are they, is he gonna learn something or something? And
I guess he does.
anyway, he kind of does, I guess. But yeah, again, I had no context, so I assumed that like he was brought here to meet this guy, and like I guess when he showed up, they all relaxed, and I hope that's what they were hoping for. And then, yeah,
I'm just gonna give a little context. So Musashi was technically arrested. This is a dojo. It's the police's dojo.
okay.
It's all sort of a technicality, though. All he did was murder a guy. And
no big deal.
No, it was fine. So he shows up, and who he was actually here to fight was a kendo master, and that was that wooden sword he was holding at the beginning.
Yes, yeah. The first like 3 seconds.
Yeah. So the end of the last episode was the kendo master being like, "I wonder who will win, the greatest kendo fighter of all time, or the greatest sword fighter." The fight took about 4 seconds, and that was just because Musashi took a big time to wind up before basically just punching the guy with a sword over the head, breaking it over his head, ending the fight in one swing. I think Musashi was a bit disappointed, and that's why Shibukawa shows up, is that there's a second reason he's here, is to meet Goki. Hey, Editor Steve here. I can hear that background noise too. It's a slight echo. It's not something that'll happen again next week. Can't really fix it. Hope you don't mind too much.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, he meets Goki, who then offers to shake his hand, and they're like, oh, it's a Western thing, which is weird because I don't think either of them are Western. Right? Well, like, this guy's supposed to be the best samurai, and this guy is a sensei in a Japanese dojo.
Well, no, Goki Shibukawa is, of course, a French name. Shibukawa.
My mistake.
Well, you know why they explained that it's a Western thing? It's because Musashi Miyamoto doesn't know what a handshake is. I don't think it existed in his time.
Oh. Okay, that makes a little more sense, that he's got to be brought up to speed with, like, this is how we sometimes do these things now.
Yeah. So did you pick up what Musashi's deal was, by the way?
I kind of figured that he was, like, I remember in Baki there was like a demon that was unfrozen, and I am just guessing that this is kind of similar, where he somehow got suspended in time from like the 1400s or 1600s or something.
It's very close. It's very close. This guy died, and then they used basically Jurassic Park technology to bring him back to life.
Okay. I mean, and they do explain it at the end of the episode, like a lot of his history is shared, I guess, or like a big chunk of it, where he used to be whatever, the greatest samurai swordsman in Japan, and he
probably still is.
What was it?
There's not a lot of great samurai nowadays.
Probably still is. He talks about he was known from Nara to then Kyoto, then eventually Edo or something. Yeah. Which was the capital, I would assume, back when he was doing his thing.
He's a famous guy. So Musashi was very famous. He's a real person, by the way. He's like the most famous samurai in Japanese history, I think.
I was wondering, because like, I mean, this is a throwback to when I was a kid. There was a game called Brave Fencer Musashi. It was like about a samurai.
There you go. I'll have to look up if that's him. It might be. Anyway, so Goki has shown up. He's here to shake hands and to avenge his good friend Retsu. I don't know if you remember Retsu. That's the guy that Musashi murdered.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had figured it kind of, I mean, I didn't see it obviously, but yeah, I figured he had killed Retsu or defeated him in battle at the very least.
Yeah, sort of both.
And how upset, Goki was. Yeah, and then he shakes his hand, which he then uses Aiki to cripple him. Doesn't really explain how it works, just that it is if as long as you touch them, you can do Aiki to them, and makes him feel the weight of himself plus more.
Why can't I let go of your hand?
What? He's using a technique.
Is this magic? Try as I might, I can't let go.
That's because I've already trapped you in my grasp, so-called god.
Which was a very odd way to explain it.
Aiki is straight up witchcraft. There's no justification for how Aiki works. I think the key is you've got to be a little tiny guy, and then you can do anything.
They tried to give like a backstory. Like, I can't remember the guy's name now.
A genius appeared back in the 6th year of the Ansei era. A man called Sokaku Takeda.
But it's like, and then people were trying to best him. And then one day someone did, and then it was me. Like, okay, thanks, Goki.
He was so smug when he said that. Like, his face, he was just like, yeah, many people have tried to be as good as him, but then somebody did and got better, and it was me. Yeah, I like the original guy. He gave an interesting little story about him. He invented jujitsu. He killed a bunch of guys who jumped him once. And then Musashi was like, this is taking too long, move it along. So we didn't really get a full story of the guy.
At only 15 years old, he got jumped by a group of thugs in Inawashiro, but managed to slaughter them all. This is just one of the many tales of his bravery. But as I said, the man was a genius. Our history lesson is far from over.
This is taking too long. Get to it.
I love that part. I also loved how they were both so short. I think it's sort of, you need to be for Aiki to work, but I might be wrong there.
The shorter you are, the greater your Aiki powers are. You know, it's like Yoda has the strongest force because he's so small, right? That's how that works.
Maybe he's not even using the force. Maybe he's just using Aiki.
That's right.
I can feel something. It's more than my own body. It's the force.
Oh, yeah. And then I guess he cripples him with the Aiki and then punches his face and basically says, Retsu wouldn't want this. So really it's for me. I just want to beat the shit out of you for my own gratification.
That is the most Shibukawa thing. It's so up. It's, I don't know. I love that line. Like the last time, Goki's one of those guys who's always hanging around but not doing much. And I think the last thing he did was he fought Muhammad Ali Jr. And Muhammad Ali Jr. beat him. And then Muhammad Ali Jr. got beat up by another guy such that he was limping and bleeding and like had broken bones. And then Goki came back and kicked his ass while he was like in crutches. Like he's just a very, I don't know, I think he enjoys, I guess he's a sadist is how I describe it.
He does seem like a bit of a dick, and like, and yeah, I mean, used Aiki to cripple him and like just seemed to enjoy the suffering he was bringing into him. Like he didn't even seem happy about winning the fight. He seemed more happy that he hurt him.
Yes, yeah, that's why he came there. And he's also got a lot of personality. So one of the most interesting things about Goki, he's sort of got two shticks to him. He's one, the Aiki guy, but he also has this premonition. He's so good at martial arts that his body warns him when he's in danger. We've seen it communicated before as if he's walking towards danger, he might see an ocean or a wall blocking his way. And I guess it's one of those things where you have to raise the stakes each time, because this time he saw pools of lava that he had to calmly walk down to get to Musashi.
But he loves it. He as he says, that's, you know, people think you should be worried about it, but he's like, I love those days.
I did love that, yeah. His body's saying no, and he's like, ooh, lava day.
This is how I feel alive.
But then when he finally sees Musashi, he doesn't just see lava, he sees a deadly volcano, and it's one of the best quotes of the season, I would say. Goki responds internally in his mind by thinking, "Mommy, help me."
Mommy, help me!
Which I just thought was such a contrast after he's basically been aura farming the entire episode.
Yeah, given someone who's just kind of whatever, so bold and unwavering in his arrogance, I guess. I was just gonna say, and then there's after they kind of have that talk, and he releases his Aiki thing. I found it really weird that like Musashi attacked him, I guess, and he's like, "Oh, I should have known. That's your whatever your secret is. You don't wait." But also, like it looked like he like had like cut him like badly. I was like, "Oh, is this guy gonna be like dead?" But like, no. Like there was just the scene where it looked like a blade cut him, and there was blood, and then like the second after, I'm like, "Is his arm gonna fall off or something?" Like, no, that's it. He's like, "Oh, you've bested me or felled me or something," and then that was kind of it, which I thought was weird.
You did it! You cut me down!
This is Musashi's signature move, and I feel like it's something that like that Baki has been building towards. Like you need like seasons of build up to have such a stupid ability. Musashi is so good at just him imagining using a sword. He visualizes it so well that these fighters feel the sword go through them, and they know that they've died. They know that they would not have been able to protect themselves. It's like, I don't even know. It's like if you pretended so hard that somebody started feeling the pain. It's sort of what happened.
So he's got his own kind of witchcraft then, I guess. He's manifesting so hard that everyone else is experiencing it.
Yeah, I don't know. The way I describe it, like, Aiki is witchcraft. This is like this is the witch trials. This is like shared hysteria where everybody's just sort of going along with the ride. Yeah, and Goki just gets wrecked. Like he gets slashed like 9,000 times.
No, he basically admits defeat and then goes to shake hands again to be like, "You did it." And I just remember thinking when they went to shake hands again, like he can't really be that stupid to like take his hand a second time, can he? But then they shake, and I don't recall anything happening. Like
I think they do.
I watched this.
They shake, but then it cuts, and you can see Goki has like 20 slashes through him, implying, I guess, with his other hand, Musashi was imagining slashing him to pieces.
Yeah. The other thing I found weird about Musashi is he always looks like he's not really focusing on what's happening, or like kind of bored looking. He never really seems to be, at least from like, I don't know, maybe it's just I haven't watched enough Baki lately to get used to the style. He just seems so disinterested in whatever's going on.
Oh, I am in love with Musashi's design. He's got such a distinct face, very unique emotions. And yeah, he's not too interested in what's going on. He's sort of I don't know. I think he found Goki interesting for the first half, and then once he started cutting him, he was just like, whatever. I am not here to talk to you. But somebody he could still learn from in our second half of the episode, Yujiro Hanma. First off,
what a segue that was.
Thank you.
No, not you. Like how they go into that part of the episode.
Oh my god. Well, first off, let's do a fit check. What do you think of Yujiro's leopard Speedo that we catch him in?
Yeah, that was something. That's literally like scene changes, and it just does this pan of him on a couch, I think, and he's just like splayed out wearing this leopard Speedo and nothing else.
He was just in like a hotel room. Like it's not like he was sunbathing or anything. Like, it's very odd.
And the weird thing is, like, so I figure, okay, then they'll explain like he was out in the pool or something, like he's toweling off, like putting clothes on, but literally the next scene he's just fully clothed. Like, yeah. No explanation, no like, oh, you came in at a awkward, like nothing. Just like, I just hang around in my Speedo at home, and then I'm magically dressed, even though someone's been in the room the whole time.
It's like he just woke up. It's like he slept in that underwear, and then Motobe came in and he felt embarrassed and went to go get dressed. Like, it's very odd.
Did Motobe come in? I guess maybe I'm misremembering. I thought he was already in the room. but I could
well, that's
be
what I
wrong.
mean. I'm imagining that Yujiro was sleeping in that, and then Motobe opened the door. And
So sorry that I'm improper. Let me.
yeah, here, have some cognac and some cheap candy.
The best pairing, apparently.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Yujiro just makes cognac look disgusting. The things that he does with his mouth, it looks like, first of all, that he's drinking a gallon of cognac. But I don't want
It's like
that.
it's almost like someone who's never had cognac was like, how do I draw this? Like, how do I show someone kind of like gently swishing it around their mouth to get the flavor and the notes? Like, I know, stick it all the way into one cheek and then all the way into the other.
How would the world's strongest man eat food?
Right?
Yeah.
And then he like, what an awkward. And then is he trying to find Musashi? I can't even. He seems to want to like fight this guy, and Motobe, I'm gonna get his name wrong. Is like, I'm gonna protect you, and cuts to like Yujiro didn't know how to handle this. He'd never built up was it a defense for this, because no one's ever tried to look out for him before.
Oh my god. Well, yeah, nobody's ever protected Yujiro, which leads to the most it's pretty quick, but it might be one of the craziest moments of the season, where Yujiro as a baby is described as he demanded to be born and he took his milk. He wasn't nursed.
He wasn't given milk. He was like, yeah, that's mine.
He'd never been protected before. From when he was born up till this very moment, he had never let anyone protect him from anything. He demanded to be born from within his mother's womb. He took milk from his mother's breast, whether she wanted to suckle him or not.
And I would say that, like, that's a ridiculous way to portray a baby, but man, the way they drew Yujiro, he was a mean looking baby. I can believe all of what they said.
And I guess like he was a human baby, but I just never picture Yujiro that way. I always picture him as kind of this demonish guy.
Well, it's one of those things where being a baby usually humanizes you, you know, makes you go, oh, he's just like us. So they had to make this ridiculous idea that he's not like us. He was this literally a horror movie baby. Like, you could write a movie about that. Yujiro has some great moments in this episode. When Motobe is talking to him, he just stares back at him like just, I don't even know how to describe it. Blank space, like he doesn't even understand Japanese anymore. And then when Motobe finally gets across the point that he's going to protect him, Yujiro has like one of my favorite lines. He literally just says, "I'll fucking kill you."
I'll fucking kill you!
Yeah. And they drew that like that's fucking scary ogre face too. He like fully freaks out and yeah.
Oh yeah, nobody gets. Everybody in Baki can have a scary face, but nobody gets as scary a face as Yujiro when he gets mad. He's got extra face muscles there.
I also don't know who Motobe is, so I don't know why he's offering to protect Yujiro, and then he goes on to say he's going to protect like all these other guys too. But he also mentioned Goki, I think, which is, and like it seems too late for that.
Yeah, he didn't do a very good job of that. So yeah, Motobe is one of those guys who's been here the whole time, but he hasn't done anything in 100 episodes basically. Motobe's shtick is he studies ancient martial arts like samurais, and so he knows how somebody like Musashi would work in a way the rest of the cast doesn't. And well, we just saw Retsu died fighting Musashi, and he basically thinks that nobody is equipped to fight Musashi because they don't understand how samurais worked. That's his deal.
Right. It's not like samurais are a real thing that people have known about for, quite some time.
Okay, but samurais are real, Mike. But did you study the samurai? Do you know how they work?
No, I guess I just feel like there's got to be more than one expert, Like he's the only one.
I mean, the rest of them probably read books and stuff. Musashi is like Musashi's built like a barrel, like, or I don't know. I'm gonna edit in a better way to describe him.
Yeah, he's not your normal samurai, but the most famous, I guess. Yeah, I did. This is just reminding me as well. I can't remember where this was. It was in between some other scenes. Haku just describes some ancient form of martial arts in like, he's like, I don't want to be biased, but, and then I don't even know what it has to do with the rest of the episode. I can't even remember what he's talking about.
I put that in my notes, and like it's its own section because it's completely divorced from everything. It has no reason to be there. It felt like they gave up halfway through that scene.
So you'd like to know the ultimate self-defense? I wish I had the answer.
Yeah.
They like cut to him. He says something about like, oh, this is like one of the oldest martial arts, but I don't want to be biased or something, and implies that it's, I don't know if it's good or bad.
I don't even know what he implied. He just sort of rambles and then says, "Oh, these are prayer beads."
Oh, these. They're prayer beads. They're for my beloved disciple who passed away not too long ago.
Yeah, for who was it? Someone who died or something?
Yeah, for Retsu.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I don't know why that just like I was reminded of that as we were talking about it.
I'm glad we brought it up because yeah. Yujiro's scene mostly ends. Motobe has a little scene outside the apartment door where his teeth are chattering, but like it feels like his teeth are like he's doing like a full mouth open, mouth closed motion each time it chatters, which I found very funny. Anyway,
but he's so proud for standing up to the ogre.
Yes,
that's yeah.
I mean, good. I'm surprised he didn't die.
I'm surprised too, to be honest. I don't know why Yujiro didn't kill him.
I have in my notes next, Yujiro fucks up a bee. Do you remember this? There's a bee buzzing around and Yujiro flicked it with his fingers.
Yeah, so it cuts to Kanu? Shume Kanu?
I think it cuts to somebody. I don't know that guy.
I think that was who it is. Anyway, it cuts to this guy and he like catches the wasp like by its wings.
Yep.
And you're like, oh, that's cool. It's like some kind of like martial arts control thing where it's like you're catching something like literally by its wings out, killing it or hurting it, which is impressive on itself. And then he kind of like Yujiro appears and he lets it go, and then Yujiro just flicks it and kills it. Like he's like, I don't care. This thing is in my way.
And then the guy's security for Tokugawa's estate, and he's like, "Oh, Yujiro, why didn't you come in the front door?" And I think Yujiro literally says like, "I don't do that."
But why did you sneak in though? You know you could have just walked in through the front gate.
I don't do that.
Huh?
Really?
Yes. Literally, like, you could have just come in the front. It would have been fine. He's like, I don't do it that way or something. Yeah.
Like, this is just an all-time great Yujiro episode right here.
I mean, you've got the Speedo, you've got the cognac and the candy, you've got him refusing to use normal doors. Yeah. It's, I mean, peak Yujiro maybe, other than his fight with Baki.
Him demanding milk or demanding to be born. You know what people say?
Yes.
You know what people say? I didn't ask to be born. Same with Yujiro. He didn't ask to be born. He demanded it.
Yeah, he means it in like the opposite way. You know, most people saying like, I didn't want to be here. I didn't want this, and he's like, no. This is my territory. This is where I'm supposed to be.
And he was like, conceive me. Do it. Anyway. So, of course, the reason Yujiro is on Tokugawa's estate is because that is where Musashi is staying in between his visits to the police department. And we have a quick little conversation where we get a bit of a difference between the two. What would you say is the difference in how Musashi and Yujiro view fighting?
Yujiro was like, don't you just love to be the best and like do it for the love of the fight, basically?
Yeah.
And Musashi was like, no, like, what are you talking about? That's crazy. I want bitches and money. Like, I mean, that's a simplification of it, but he's basically like, I did it. I was the best. I was known throughout the land, and I got so much gold, and I could have all the women I wanted, and everyone knew my name. I want it so that everyone knows who I am, and everywhere I go, people like know that I'm famous, and like that's why I do it.
Yeah,
I want everyone to like, yeah.
It was a simplification, but only in that you didn't mention that he also wants food and alcohol. Like it was
Oh
pretty-
yes, I've had the finest foods. Yes, sorry, I forgot.
Yeah.
They cut to a very nice spread of fish.
Cool. He loves fish. Yeah, no, it was fun. Musashi really got into it. Like he was showing some big emotions, some big smiles. And then it ends in the final shot of the episode. He does his iconic Musashi stare back at Yujiro, and we see one of his slashes.
I'm sorry, I'm remembering a thing right before that, which is where they are taking shots of sake together.
Oh, they did do
But
that,
then-
yeah.
And then they just like they tip their glasses to show they've taken the shot, I guess.
And there was always a drip
But
in
yeah.
each one. You'd think they just finished to get that too.
Right? I feel like they did that to prove it was empty. There was only one drip left. I don't know.
Just
Who knows?
wasting good sake.
But then yeah, there's the slash, and then is that how it ends?
That's the end. Cuts right to credits.
Yeah. I'm like, I should remember this. I literally watched it this morning. But yeah.
I watched it an hour ago. All right, Mike. Before we get into some final questions, what do you think's next episode? Let's say these two fight. Who do you think would win?
From what I know of the Baki universe, I want to believe that Yujiro kind of puts him in his place, and he's like, you could never be the best because you don't love fighting, which seems to be the whole premise of what I know about Baki, which obviously is not as much as you or other people, but that's, I mean, it's not, what's episode 12? I don't know how many episodes are in this season, but I can't imagine. If it is the finale, maybe that's the lesson, but if it's not, then I imagine it's got to keep going on.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see. There's 2 more episodes left before we get to the midpoint of Baki Do.
Right, so there's lots to go. So I don't think he's going to learn any lessons from Yujiro.
Yeah, most likely not. All right. Other question. What'd you think of the episode? What'd you give it out of 10?
For a Baki episode, I liked it. I mean, I give it a, I give it like a 7.
Oh.
It's, with the exception of the Speedo, it's not too oddly gross in any way. And the Speedo's not that bad, because I think one of the other episodes I watched and talked to you about was the one where was it Retsu that like peed on the guy?
Oh no, well, it could be a few people, but we're probably thinking of Oliva or
No.
Dorian. Editor's note: I was thinking of Spec. Dorian doesn't pee on anybody. I don't think.
Maybe
There's
might have been.
there's a
Anyway.
few guys who peed on people.
Right.
Oh, Sikorsky.
So,
Sikorsky, that was it.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was Sikorsky. And I mean, there's a lot of non-action, I guess, because like the sword slashing was nothing actually like happened. You just kind of was in his, I guess, his whatever manifestation. So not a lot went on in the episode unless you count drinking cognac.
And
But there's
cheap
also like,
candy.
and the cheap candy. But I feel like it sets up a good showdown between Yujiro and Musashi. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't think it was, maybe a slower episode compared to some, but I wouldn't say it was bad. I thought it was, yeah, I give it like a 7. I don't think it's amazing. I don't think it's terrible.
That's good enough for me. All right, and we have a fan question this week. Question: who do you think is more arrogant, Yujiro or Musashi?
I'm gonna say Musashi, only because I don't know if he's ever lost a fight yet.
Oh, and Yujiro had that humbling fight with Baki.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, as arrogant as Yujiro comes off, he has tasted defeat.
All right, that's a fair argument. I'm gonna say Yujiro is more arrogant, just because I think that Musashi, like, I think he acknowledges that other people are good at stuff. He'll point out, he'll be like, wow, that was a good trick, Goki. Wow, Aiki's really something. And maybe that's more patronizing than honest, but I could never see Yujiro like praising people in the middle of the fight. I think he'd more make fun of them and just be like, oh, that's why that didn't work. Good try. Maybe I should go into voice acting.
I think, yeah, no, I agree with that. I think that makes sense. I probably, if I watched a few more episodes and saw Musashi fight some people, maybe I get a different perspective.
No, I think you've made a good point. I'm honestly split.
Because he also, I don't know if it's arrogance to seem that disinterested either. To be like, really, like, you're not really gonna be able to hurt me. You can't do anything. Where am I gonna get more money, more women, more food?
Well, thank you so much for coming on to the 100th episode of Baki Taki.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm so honored to be your 100th episode guest, I guess.
Yeah, my 100th guest. Imagine if I had 100 people on this podcast.
I don't think I know 100 people, so that'd be impressive.
I know. I'd be bringing people off the street. All right, that's all the Baki we've got to talkie. So see you all next week.
Da-na-na, da-na-na.
Nice.